this cheap.
Yo, it's the Spin That Back show. We're starting off late today, 11 o'clock for y'all. But welcome here Saturday mornings, like we always do. Me and Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy, we're going to be talking about the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. This is what we're talking about today. What's going on with you, Mr. Nice Guy?
Chilling, man. Welcome, happy to be back and talk about one of my favorite rappers. The Biggie. I'm just saying I can't say too much. I can't say enough about this brother. It was a tragedy to lose him, but it was a blessing to have him. So that's what's up.
Yes, sir. Spin that back one time. Check this out. Biggie is. We always talk about Tupac, and then when you talk about Tupac, a lot of times you gotta bring up Biggie. People compare them and everything, but I don't think it's a comparison. They had two different styles. Pac had this like political thing going on, his little wannabe gangster or thug. I ain't gonna say gangster, he was a thug, had his thug image and everything. He was an actor, he was a character and everything. Big was more of a smooth operator that can actually rhyme and get in a session and actually battle you. And Pac couldn't handle him in a battle one-on-one. They went blow for blow with lyrics. In my opinion, that's what I think. Because Big was more of a charismatic hip-hop MC from Brooklyn, New York. You know, New York, birth of hip-hop and everything. He had that swag, that style, his own little thing. And Pac was more like, I'll get you, but I'll get you in a soulful way, lyric.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? But anyway, we're here to celebrate Big anyway. So Big, one of the best artists for his time. He didn't live long. He only had a couple of albums, in my opinion. Those other ones was like little throwaways and put togethers and whatever it was. But the first two albums was his albums. And then all the features that he had. So let's talk about the Notorious Big. Biggie Smalls. When did you first hear about Biggie?
First time I heard Biggie was that verse he had on a Supercat song, that Dolly My Baby. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking the other rapper was actually more appealing to me than him. He didn't sound bad. I just felt like he was just like another guy. And I remember when I started hearing all the buzz about him, and I'm talking about, the guy from Dolly My Baby, like, really? This is the guy that everybody's talking about is blowing up and all this other stuff? Because I did not hear that song from Who's the Man. Had I heard that song, I think I would have had a completely different take on what was to come. But I was a little late. But when I heard that song, that's what really let me know who Biggie was. Who's the Man? A Party and Bullshit, who disrespectfully uses the Last Poets. They're sitting there making a point that how black people are BS and all they want to do is party and bullshit. And Biggie's like embracing it. All we want to do is party and bullshit and flipped it. And I'm just saying that's a song you can just play back to back to back to back. And as I understand it, Tupac heard it and he did that very same thing. And that's how that whole beginning started. But that was my intro to Biggie.
Spin that back one time. This man said that Tupac heard it, and that's how the whole back and forth began.
Oh, he heard that song. He said that he was playing it in his car. He was like, "Yo, this is my joint." They just was bumping it, and they had to meet up, and then they had a genuine, real friendship. For a while. I mean, after a fashion, you know how some people say that if something don't last, it wasn't real. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can make an argument there because with all due God bless the dead. I'm gonna respect Pac, but he was hella tripping about this whole Biggie thing.
Hold on. Let me spin that back on though, because you said that's where the back and forth began. Back and forth began on what side?
Oh, I'm just talking about not being disrespectful. I'm just talking about a love affair. I'm just saying that he heard Biggie and he was like, that dude is dope, and they were playing it and playing it and playing it. So it was just like, but that is my understanding that he heard that song and he was like, yo,
yes, sir. That's why you want, that's when they got together and everything and linked up. Yes, sir. Because of that song. Spin that back one time. That's facts, y'all. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't get it misunderstood when you said back and forth, because I think of the back and forth, I think of you know,
Yeah.
the whole beef and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they linked
That
up.
happened later. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they linked up and everything. So when you heard Party and Bullshit, you can't say that he stole Pac's style or took from Pac. He didn't.
Well,
You
he didn't
can't
know. He didn't know Pac then. He couldn't have stolen stuff then. So that's lit Pac. You know that whatever. Now Pac says he influenced him with other stuff.
was like,
So when he's doing the smooth stuff and all this whatever,
yeah,
you know, I'm sure that he gave him some pointers. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm not.
that's what
You
you
know,
do as
everybody
an
is
MC.
influenced by everybody.
Yeah, that's what you do as an MC. You're supposed to, hand down the knowledge and everything. Tell them, hey man, you need to be doing this. That's nothing but constructive criticism, which is a good thing. Spin that back one time. So
But
yes,
Party and Bullshit, Party and Bullshit, an example of Biggie doing Biggie, and it was Biggie.
right.
Because again, there was no Pac in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like his whole thing. Now he had more energy. I will say that he was much more hyper. You know what I'm saying? More rah-rah. So, he at a later point he became more smoother and maybe there was some influence there. But you know what I'm saying? It's just those patterns. Pac wasn't capable of doing that. Or at least that one thing that he was like even trying to do. I should say
Well,
that.
look at Dolly, my baby. I love it when you call me Big Pop.
Papa. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh,
When you go back and listen to it, you see like, okay, this was that guy. You know what I'm saying? This was his little thing, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I didn't see it from the verse. I just thought it was a solid verse. I was more impressed with that other dude, Third Eye or Block, whatever that dude. I thought he was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Let me give you a special spin that back one more time. Because, yeah, I don't even remember that dude.
Yeah, that dude, man. Just his voice, the way he sounded. And I heard some stuff that he did afterward. He did some dope stuff, but his career never took off, and that's what it was.
Ironically, the first time I heard of him was on Heavy D, A Bunch of Niggas, and didn't even know that was him to years and years and years later. Didn't even pay no attention because I didn't really bump that album like that, but I still got the album, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I heard that and I'm like, what, that Biggie, but he was going by Biggie Smalls. That's when he had to change his name after that and everything. But yeah, so that's why I actually first heard of him. But when the world famous Wake Up Show was playing, I used to listen to that, Sway and Tech, get all kinds of hip hop. First, I heard that Flavor in Your Ear coming home from work one night. I used to work like 4 to 12 doing security. I heard that damn Flavor in Your Ear. I'm like, this gonna change hip hop right here. That beat was just so ridiculous.
And there was a callback to that the verse, the Big Pop, but he played on it, and I again, I didn't see it. Everybody else was right because I remember, man, when that first album dropped, people were going crazy for it. And all I heard was Juicy, and I was just like, maybe, I guess, whatever. And you hear everything else on that album. We'll come to it. I don't want to jump the gun, but yeah, no, he did those singles. He put in that work before. He got on the unsigned hype, Source or whatever and stuff like that. So those are the things. Those are the dues he paid before that album dropped.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, yeah, that album is Ready to Die. Classic big album. Can we give it a spin that back one time? Because I gotta say, this is one of those albums you can actually probably play most of it all the way through and be like, I can't skip nothing there. Even though it is like 1 or 2 on there.
I skipped Juicy. Oh, but yeah, no, it's
you're right with that one.
That's why I'm just telling you. I got Juicy, and I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing, and it wasn't until I got the rest of the album that I was like, okay, now I get this. This dude is a master at placement, cadence, just vibe, just lyrical construction, all of that stuff. That dude was everything. And I'm just saying the Juicy to me was like a pop song, just like whatever. It was made for the purpose of being a single to get play on radio, but it wasn't the type of song that was going to appeal to me. But, man, the rest of that stuff, just amazing.
I don't know if I heard Juicy first, but I think I heard The Warning. Whew. And when I first heard that, I'm like, what the hell is this?
That beat.
They dropped the video and everything. It was just a song I heard. It was either that or Unbelievable. It was one of those 2 songs. Yeah. I just heard it. I'm like, this dude right here is flowing. Like, this dude is just unbelievable. But yeah, anyway, let's go through the album.
Anyway,
September.
before we do that, so this album dropped on September 13th.
Okay.
This is a key date because this is actually the day that Tupac died on. And the reason I know it because it's my mother's birthday. My homeboy Leroy, his mother's birthday was the day that Tupac got shot, and my mother's birthday is the day that he died on. And when I saw that the album dropped on the 13th, I was like, wow, there's like, it's amazing kind of connection there. I mean, those dudes will always be tied for forever, you know what I'm saying, together. Tragically so, but I'm just saying that it was ironically that his album, his first classic album that dropped, the release date was the actual day, not the year, but the day that he would ultimately die.
And it was called Ready to Die. Only on the Spin That Back show where you get some facts.
Yeah. So if he's a conspiracy guy, he'd probably read even more into it. But yeah, let's deep dive into this album. And before we do that, let's give some Juice Crew love because Mr. C played a part. And this dude, getting his fame, sort of getting his exposure. I believe that Puffy was the guy, but because Puffy was working with Andre Hall, he was working with with the Uptown, but he ended up getting fired from that. And he did some things and ultimately was able to build Bad Boy, and he anchored that with with Biggie. So but Mr. C played a big role in all this. So shout out and rest in peace to the legendary Mr. C.
Shout out to Mr. Rest in peace. Yes, sir. So let's get into this album right here. Start off with the little intro and everything. That's a skippable. Honestly, it's just the intro. So then you got this song called "Things Done Change." Damn it, hard as hell. So as it come in, I was mad. I'm like, my break. All right, cool. No problem. I ain't mad at you. Somebody was gonna use it anyway.
Man, that happens in hip hop. You gotta understand. A lot of us that is making music and stuff like that. Sometimes someone's gonna rock with that same thing that you did, and it's not that they stole it from you. They just did it. They just came to it like you came to it. And if they do it well enough, you gotta just tip your cap and say, "Yo, man, they did that."
And of course, it's been used before. It's called California My Way from Main Ingredient. So it ain't no big deal. Anyway, it was just that. But then the beat comes in. It's just so beautiful and everything. Then you got the Dre sample in there. And actually, it's Biz Markie back in the day. Then you got Dre. Things that's changed on our side. Remember they used to dump. We used to thump, but now they blast, right? Remember they used to thump, but now they blast. Had to think about it in my head, y'all. Yes, sir. Spin that back one time. But that right there, the hook was all beautiful. The beat was beautiful. Do you have the producing list up there? I don't know who produced that track, but that track was produced beautifully.
Well, I know that Easy Mo B had his hands on pretty much. I don't
think Mo B did. He might have did that track actually.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it up right now. So here it goes. Just pulling up right here. Booyah. So now go straight to this discography. Sure. Tell you, man, this brother's got a lot of stuff on here. So, you know what? And okay, here we go. Track. Oh, so yeah, Darnell Scott. Things Done Changed. So Darnell Scott produced Things Done Changed.
Okay, yes, sir. But that was I guarantee y'all listen to that, you'd be like, man, Big was a monster. After that, number 3 is Give Me the Loot. Y'all gotta listen to that song right there, classic song. This dude is changing up his voice.
Yeah, I was about to say he did two verses on this, and honestly, I thought the other dude was somebody else.
I did too. I mean,
I'm just saying, I didn't think that he was capable of that much of an emotional shift. Now, again, this is before I know that I talked about how Party and Bullshit. I actually didn't hear that song till after this. So I heard Give Me the Loot, and I didn't, it wasn't till, I heard Give Me the Loot before I heard Party and Bullshit. And then I heard Party and Bullshit, and I was like, oh, he did have that energy and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but nah. Yeah. You ain't got to explain shit. I've been robbing mother emphasis the slave ships.
Same 4-5.
Yeah, it's disrespectful, but it's dope.
Love that song. That song, he talking to himself and everything. It's just so creative. Now I'm gonna tell you like this: I ain't seen too many people be creative like that, except Slick Rick.
Yeah, Slick Rick was the master of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that was his thing. That was his art of storytelling.
Yeah, he thought he was Run DMC. He had like going back and forth with himself all the time. So yeah, so that
Exactly.
was his thing. But shout out to legendary, classic, masterful Slick Rick.
Then Machine Gun Funk. I know this was Moby for sure.
Yeah,
Don't even have to tell me. I already know that one. Machine Gun Funk, beautiful ass song. Use that Lords of the Underground. I live for the funk. I die for the funk. That was so clever. Beat is just everything. One thing I like about this album is the production was super tight at that time. This was just top notch production. What you think about Machine Gun Funk?
definitely. I mean, Easy Mo B. I mean, he laid it down. Spoiler alert. The next four songs are all Easy Mo B, and I mean, every single one of these songs. The only song that I really didn't care for on this album was Juicy. That was it. I'm just, and I don't want to keep piling on it, but I'm just telling you, to me, this is like that Onyx album where we always talk about how Slam is a little bit different than every other song on that album. Sometimes you got to make the pop song, and that's what they do. But I'm just saying that all of these songs are bangers. So, give me the loot. Oh, sorry, Machine Gun Funk. So yeah, this is man. It's just man.
Yeah, the funk, baby. All right, then the warning.
Now, Warning, is this the one with Method Man?
No, this is who the F is this? Page me at 5:46 in the morning.
Morning, yeah.
Now yawning. Man, that
Oh, the what is the yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so and I've heard this beat. I gotta tell you, they were playing this beat like in a lot of like obscure movies and stuff. Just the music, not even getting to the rap part. So it was just like this track has found its way in a lot of soundtracks and stuff like that. So it was big time. So but it's dope.
yes, sir. Love that song too. And it's telling a good story. And then at the end, he was like, "Hold
So,
up, I hear somebody coming."
so this is him. He's doing like double voices on this one too, because this other one was like on the phone, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah. So he doubled up on it. Doubled up on the double up.
This is his first album. All the creativity on this album was just ridiculous. This is not. This is my favorite album by Big, by far. Just because of everything he just said right now. We ain't even halfway through. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it is the superior album, even though the second album we'll get to it has a song that I think is better than every song in this album. But yeah, nah, this is a far superior album.
Next song, number 6, Ready to Die.
Title song. So what the album's named after, you know what I'm saying? So, another Easy Mo B banger. So, that's what he did.
Only thing I don't like about this song is you got Puffy in there putting his like, we didn't need you in here, son.
Yeah, if you won't want no producer dancing in your videos and talking in the background, I mean that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yes, sir. Then the original One More Chance. Now this is the original One More Chance, the album version, where it starts off with his daughter saying, "All you hoes calling for my dad, they off his dick." Like that. And then it goes into like the recordings.
Contributing to a delinquency of a minor, but yes, so that's the Blues Brothers, Chucky Thompson, and Combs, and that's because that's where they're sampling it from. All
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so it's a good song though. It's the original. It's like y'all gotta listen to that. He got lyrics. He flows on this. Flows. It's a whole different. Everything is so different. So anyway,
He did this song 3 completely different ways.
yeah, he did.
Because you got the video version, and then you got my favorite version, which was the hip hop remix, which was using the Marley Marl, the Craig G dropping science, the bum 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 bum. I mean, that's man, that used to get me going in the underground clubs, man.
Yeah. And that's Lou Donaldson, Who's Making Love. That's that song. Doom, 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 doom.
Man.
Doom, 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 doom.
Bert. He got the whole vibe from dropping science, the remix, all that stuff. So yeah. So that's what's up. So man, shout out.
Then you got a little skit for number 8. F me, it's old girl getting dugout, calling them all, old fat corn eating, you big old mustard smelling, whatever she was saying.
And guess what? This song is produced by Combs, and it was a little bit of foresight of things to come.
Yeah. We know Combs was in the building. Then you got the infamous The What with Method Man, a Moby banger. This song was probably one of the best on the album, period.
And you know what? Method Man always he proudly says, "I'm the only feature on this album."
Yep, he was.
You know, other sides, other than when Biggie was when he was featuring himself with different voices. But yeah, nah, that's
right.
That's 100%. The What? Easy
This
Mo B.
Meth was at his peak at this point. He just couldn't do no wrong. He was on all kinds of hooks for the Woo and everything, and probably a couple other people in the SWV and all that old stuff. He got on here. It was just perfect. I ain't heard nobody rap with him better than Meth on this album. Meth just actually knows how to rap with people. He's just a rapper's rapper.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that.
He's got a lot of character, a lot of personality. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of separated him. I remember when the METHOD, man, that dropped. It's like he really didn't want to do it, but the rest of them was like, yo, this has got to be the single because you don't understand. You just really vibed. This really just like touched the people. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you got to get at people. So, shout out to Meth.
Give me a spin that back one time. Where we at? Come on, where we at, y'all?
So now we at Juicy. So.
Oh yeah, well, we at Juicy.
It's a radio song.
Something to say about Juicy. It was whack.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I was dancing around it, but you just said it straight up. I don't like it.
I did not like it from the first day I heard it. I was like, that's a whack sample. I mean, because you just looped it. That's when they first, to me, this is when that looping shit started with the Puff shit. You just jacked that song and didn't do shit to it.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, that's the wackest shit in the world. It was like, man, somebody else would have took this beat and actually did something with it. Like what Pete Rock did, it was a little different, so he had a break beat behind it and everything for the remix. But that still was like, you shouldn't even mess with it, Pete Rock. You just made it worse, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how it should have came out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little upset about that song. So to me, that was the weakest song on the album. They could have left that shit somewhere else. In my opinion, I didn't like it. I hated the video. It was just whack to me. It's like, look at this fat motherfucker.
And that's the song that Puffy co-produced Poke. And I think that he might have asserted himself a little bit.
Tone and Poke?
Yeah, so so he I think that he might asserted himself a little bit just because again, he's thinking like the radio song, the pop song or whatever. I don't know. What
he did was he brought it to Tony Pope, brought them the sample, and they just went ahead and looped it because they was doing a lot of looping shit too. That's all they was doing for a while. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot of looping. Well, they did a lot of looping back in these days. And can we get a spin that back on that because that's what they did? Yes, it was. And was it Fly? Okay.
So the next up is Everyday Struggle. Now this was produced by the Blues Brothers.
Beautiful song. I love this damn song. The hook and everything was just nice. The beat was proper. Everything was good. I love this song.
And Me and My Bitch, another Blues Brothers. This is a sort of like a compilation effort. This is Blues Brothers, Chucky Thompson and Combs. So Me and My Bitch. This brother didn't have no problem saying the B word. No. He ain't had no problems saying, putting hands on a female either. I ain't gonna co-sign for that, but he was definitely, of a way.
Well, if you listen to the hook, he says just me and my bitch, just me and my bitch. He just keep repeating that. But you got Puffy and a female talking. And you should listen to them talking, threatening each other. It's just weird. It's just like I say, Puffy. There go Puffy fucking up the song again. It's the only thing I didn't like about the song Puffy on there. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna save it for the next album. We'll put a pin on that. We're gonna talk about that. But so then the next song is Big Papa. Now
right there was a hook. I'm sorry, they took a loop there. They did take a loop, but
it was dope. This is when
his lyrics and the way he did this. Come on, go ahead and say what you got.
This is when I first started like really kind of getting it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I heard these two songs before I heard this album, and I heard Party and Bullshit after I heard this album. So I'm a little all out of order. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it took me a while. So I heard Juicy. I wasn't very impressed. I heard Big Papa. I thought, you know what? This is a song. I mean, he's kind of cheating. It's kind of hard to mess up that Isley Brothers joint, but you know what I'm saying? He still delivered on it. You know what I'm saying? So I just like it. He was like a callback to the Big Papa, the verse that he had on Supercat song. So this was dope.
When I first heard this on the radio, this before I copped the album, I said this dude right here gonna blow up because of this one song, this one little line he said. I couldn't remember it totally, but I said this nigga said something about I'm in the party and I see some girls that's gonna be having my baby. Baby. That's all I remember. I'm like, that shit was so dope. But then his lyrics was just amazing. But I heard it one time. I said, this dude gonna blow the fuck up. It just reminded me of that whole Snoop thing. That 187 on the undercover. That right there was just so catchy. I'm sorry.
See, that's the thing about it. Some people just get through their lyrics, and not no knock on Talib Kweli. I love this dude. He's a lyricist, but I'm just saying that to me, he was a guy that pushes through the lyrics, whereas there's these people that really lay it out with the intricacies of the cadence, of the twangs, of things that they say, and you know what I'm saying? Like Ice Cube. To me, Ice Cube is a master of rhyming in space. His bar will only have a few words, and he will stretch it and do it, and it will drop perfectly. And Biggie was doing that. And one of the things that you can really hear how dope he is with his rapping, him and Jay-Z, they didn't like write stuff down. They wrote it in their head and they recited it in their head. And just as an artist, I know that when I was recording stuff, if I'm just reciting something, it's gonna come off different than me reading something. And I'm just saying that you can tell the flavor is in the end result because he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. Shout out to that brother. That brother.
Much shout out to that because that's a hell of a skill to do right there. Man, it's hard enough to even a freestyler. I give them a whole lot of credit because if you can't just think of something that rhymes and makes sense right there in a fraction of a second, you're a bad.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the freestylers. Because I always I always say that, look, everybody who writes rhymes is a freestyler after a fashion, but those dudes deliver it freestyle. And that's a whole nother gift. Now, one of the big problems I always have with it is that, a lot of things will pop in my head. And I think that that's dope. It might sound dope, but then logically it didn't kind of pan out. So I'm just saying that, there's something about crafting and really kind of fine tuning. I can just come up with something to be dope, but then I can think of an even better way to do it. And that's where I had to shout out to the writers that really just craft it and work it to perfection. But back to Biggie, what's the next song up? So then we got Respect.
Yeah, respect to the freestylers or respect for this song right here. It was a cool song. It was like a little reggae vibe. It was kind of cool. It was kind of laid back, mellow. He got lyrics on here and everything.
Poking Combs.
Well, yeah, it was just, it just was what it was. It was like, this is another one I kind of would like kind of go past a little bit. Honestly,
So now we got another Easy Mo B joint back in the house, friend of mine.
I love that damn song. Story. You're telling the stories. You're telling the stories right here. And y'all gotta go listen to it, man. It's just, hey, messing with my man G, why she mad at me? All that old stuff. Man, this boy right here, he's a storyteller. Dude was clever. It's a great album. It deserved all the accolades that it got. Like I said, it's one of the best albums that ever came out. I gotta give it up.
Where's Got a Story to Tell? I thought that was on this album.
No, that's the next album.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay, then Unbelievable, which is a Primo joint, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is correct.
Unbelievable. When I heard, I think this might have been the one I had to hear first, actually. This right here blew my mind. He took that R. Kelly, is unbelievable. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? This is, then I thought about him like, yeah, that sounds like Primo. You can just tell.
I'm telling you. See, that's the thing about it. A lot of people like, I don't want to be trapped into some style. I don't want to I'm whatever. I'm just telling you, Primo had a way about him, and it was okay. because it was special. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you can identify a Primo track without even knowing, I'm just saying he was able to do that, and they were still dope. His style, his formula is still dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I love that he dug into his formula and really didn't walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because he just mastered the formula. And you're right, man. There's everything about it. He's a master of the choppiness. It's just it's man, Primo. Just
Primo man. Is, if you look up boom bap in the dictionary,
man, that's a great point.
But he'll come out of left field with you with Christina Aguilera. Mm-hmm. And make some stuff you be like, what? And then you listen like, damn, that is Primo. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised. But anyway, yeah, Primo, bad boy, unbelievable, incredible song. Listen to this boy, B.I.G, G-I-E, a.k.a. B.I.G, get it, Biggie.
Man, I love how he plays around. See that, you got to understand something. When you're a lyricist and you're writing stuff, in your head, you're writing to a crowd that's not even there. But there's certain rappers that figure out how to have fun with yourself. And when he does stuff like that, like Get It, like when we talk about, Brooklyn's Finest, I'm not jumping ahead. We'll get to it. But I'm just saying that this was a dude who got the assignment. He understood it. So he wrote it. He wrote it for that crowd that wasn't there and had fun with you. And you guys just had to catch up. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Biggie. He did that.
What's the next one? Suicidal Thoughts?
Suicidal Thoughts. Lord Finesse.
Yeah.
What a crazy connection, but not really. I'm just saying, I understand that all of those dudes, perform together, rock, neighborhoods and all this other stuff. But, shout out to Lord Finesse. I actually am a Lord Finesse fan. So, that's what's up.
Yeah. This is what he meant by Ready to Die right here. The Suicidal Thoughts, if you listen to the song. But anyway, that was really the last song on there. Other ones is just like remixes I was throwing in on
Who Shot Ya?
Yeah, and One More Chance remix, one of those. But anyway, yeah, great album. But let's talk about the Who Shot Ya, because that came out around this time too, right? Right after this album.
And this song created some problems.
This created the problem. Yeah. This is what I thought you meant by back and forth. I'm like, okay, this is the back and forth where the back and forth story. Yeah. Puffy released this damn song. It was already recorded before the Tupac incident happened in New York when he got shot the first time in the elevator or whatever.
And Junior Mafia people say that Pac already knew this. He had heard it before. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just putting it out there that that's being said as well. But go ahead.
That's a new one on everybody. I ain't never heard that, but whatever.
Yeah, so definitely on the Wikipedia. But they made this assertion, and you know how it is. These songs, they come out, but people be having this stuff in their pocket, like well before. I mean, a lot of the songs that Puffy freed up, they were under the original deal with Uptown. But once he got fired, he was able to basically get those, he built up Bad Boy and he's able to purchase and get that stuff back. So, a lot of that stuff that, with the stuff that he did with Mary J. Blige, stuff he did with Supercat, stuff like that, Supercat. Yeah. So, so I'm just saying that, a lot of the songs, you hear these songs, but these songs have been in the tank for a while. Suffice it to say, the song drops when Tupac's in jail. And, a lot of people think it's like, sort of like a dig on the fact that, he got shot. And, of course, Biggie said, I had nothing to do with that. I even warned you not to be dealing with those cats. But, he was dealing with them cats and, he fell out with them and they did what they did.
That is actual fact, though. You did tell him. I mean, it's in both of the movies. It was actually known on the streets. All this right here, everything. So that's why I was tripping. Like, why is Pac tripping on them when he, I didn't know the story at the time.
God bless the dead. God bless the dead. But I'm just saying that this is one of the issues where I really take an issue with Pac. I mean, I feel like Pac got Biggie killed. You know what I'm saying? Pac got Pac killed. He got himself killed and he got Biggie killed behind this absolute BS. You know what I'm saying? But, that having been said, also, I understand the concept of when you feel like someone did you dirty and whatever, your emotions are going to be your emotions. So it's hard for me to divorce myself from his perspective, actually getting shot. And that your people had this connection with this dude. But, there's people that we know that we may know him, but we're not telling you, hey, be careful with that dude. I know that dude. But I know him because I know him. You probably shouldn't be messing with him.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
that's what it is. That's all you can ask. I
That's
mean,
all you can do.
thanks
That's
for
all you
giving
can
me
do,
the
man.
heads up. That's good looking out. You know what I'm saying? I thanks for, I trust your word. Now, when something happened, you already know. This man already told me. But it is what it is. But rest in peace to the both of them. That whole situation. But some people say, well, in fact, I'll say this. I'm gonna say this. Puffy had a whole lot to do with that bullshit by releasing that song and antagonizing the bullshit. He got that shit stirred up. He had a problem with Suge before then. Him and Suge had their thing going on. He didn't have to release that record right there. That's just my opinion. I'm just putting it out there.
If he knew what was going on and the accusations, it was probably bad taste.
If he knew, he was there.
Well, no, if he knew that he was accused, he knew that he got shot. I don't necessarily know, how serious he took it that Pac was saying that he was involved with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like even if you heard it, it's one thing. I don't know how. At some point, they really understood that Pac's really accusing us of having something to do with this. But since they didn't do it, I'm gonna think that at some point they didn't really understand it. Now they may have fully understood it by the time the song dropped.
I'm saying
Then you're right.
why release that song at that time? That was in bad timing. But you knew
I think you
he
have an
knew better,
argument.
huh? I'm
I
sorry.
think you have an argument. I think you have an argument. If that was all out there, that they think that
Even if
that
it
they were
wasn't out there,
accused.
even if it wasn't out there,
I
it's
mean,
just
but dude, if it wasn't about him, it's not about him. You know what I'm saying? If it's just a song, it's just a song. You know what I'm saying? Look, we all got songs, and sometimes the subject just lines up with an event, and sometimes when it does, you go in bad taste, you pull it back. There's like we have these like shootings, mass shootings, and there's people that literally pulled movies and pulled songs back just because it's bad timing. So I mean, I think that's kind of what you're saying, and there's an argument there. You know what I'm saying? So you got an argument, brother. I ain't arguing with you.
I think it was deliberate. That's all I'm saying, and malicious. I think he did it to stir up some controversy. Not he may not had
I don't think he was that dude. I don't think he was that dude. I think that at some point that he became that dude, or at least thought he was that dude. I don't think he originated as that dude. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
think he wanted it to be what it was, but it was just something that would put something on people's minds. This was where Pac probably got mad about, but Pac took it a whole nother direction. But
Yeah.
still,
Hey, you got to understand that Pac, part of the greatness that made Pac what he was him just being an emotional, heart on his sleeves type guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a tragedy that the part that contributed to his greatness as an artist, not just as a rapper, but as a personality, as an actor. You know what I'm saying? It's just that those emotions. It's kind of like with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are just kind of emotionally all over the place, but it contributes to their greatness as an artist. But it also contributes to their craziness as a human being,
yeah,
So,
okay, I got you. All right, well,
are we talking about this album? Are we talking about the features? Or we're gonna go on to this next album.
let's go on to the next album,
All
Life
right,
After Death. Right?
all right,
Okay, let me pull them all up here.
all right. Life After Death.
Life After.
Now, Now he did this song. He completed this, before he passed away.
Okay.
So this isn't an album where it's just like, he died and now Puff is gonna be like, well, I'm gonna arrange this how I want to arrange it, whatever. As I understand it, he basically signed off on every single one of these songs, and that he knew that this was gonna be the album. He just sadly did not live to see it drop.
Yeah,
but again,
didn't it come out like a week or two after he died?
yeah, it came out. It came out a little bit after it died.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm sorry about this, El Pooh. We might want, before we do this, you want to talk about the Michael Jackson, because technically the Michael Jackson thing happened before this. Michael Jackson is in 1995.
Let's talk about that, bro.
Okay, so first of all, let me be honest out here. I heard that he was working with Michael Jackson, because I heard a lot of people say they work with Michael Jackson. I know will.i.am says I work with Michael Jackson all the time, but he says there's a lot of stuff that we did, never got released, never going to release it. So just the fact that you vibe with it, like Prince. Prince is a guy that people would come to his house, they would perform great works, and then he would just like literally just race over the tape, because that's just the way he was. So there's a lot of stuff you just never heard that whatever. So when I heard about this, I didn't know they actually recorded a song honestly, I didn't know they actually recorded two
Two
songs.
songs.
I literally just heard both those songs right before this freaking show.
And me too. Honestly.
Honestly, you know what I'm saying? And I read about it and I told El Poo, we like, let's look into this up to see if this is for real. But it was on his history album. You know, he had a song called
Um
At This Time or something like
yeah,
that. Something.
yeah, at this time I think it's called.
Yeah, At This Time. So and Biggie
No, this
Flex
time around. This time around.
this time around, Biggie Flex is on it. I mean, it's a song. You know what I'm saying? When you hear, I'm amazed that I you know I was still messing with Michael Jackson after Fashion, but I guess technically I didn't listen to the history album obviously in its entirety, so I didn't ignore that. You know,
Yeah, I didn't
you
listen
know,
to it at all. I'm gonna be
yeah.
honest with you.
So yeah, so
I'm not
so
taking
yeah.
a shot at Mike, but I stopped listening to Mike.
Well, you know, that was the thing about it. Mike's popness kind of gravitate in a different direction. I mean, his attempt to hook up with Teddy Riley was an attempt to kind of come back to where we were in the United States. And at that point, it was really overseas where his like real sort of like dialed into where his music was. But you know, he came back after a fashion. We're going to talk about it now. Now, Mark, I know you're talking about this jam, but this was I want to say it was Heavy D or this was with the it was either Heavy D or I can't believe it, Chubb Rock and Chubb Rock. If it was Heavy D, it was Heavy D biting Chubb Rock style. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so you know, but shout out to those brothers. Chubb Rock was sort of Biggie before Biggie, but you know, shout out to Chubb Rock. You know what I'm saying? But back to Biggie. Biggie did these songs with Michael Jackson, and he did this other song that's gonna come out on you know on that other album. That was the song that was
I think Jam was actually Heavy D.
Heavy D. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Heavy D, and that was Heavy D sounding like Chubb Rock. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
Right.
and even Chubb Rock was like kind of trying to politely say like, yes, you know, I appreciate that I inspired him, that whatever. But you know, that was like kind of gritting your teeth off. But yeah, he did kind of sound a whole lot like me on it. But you know, but hey, Heavy D is a masterful classic rapper who doesn't need to sound like anybody. But I mean, you know, he was on a vibe, and it happened. You know, so that's what's up.
Then he made another one with Michael Jackson called Unbreakable.
Yeah. And
And that was
it's dope. It's dope. I'm
what
just saying, go check it out. This is on the album. Now, I love this album. This album, even though you said what you said about Michael Jackson, sort of like not really, you know, his music didn't really kind of resonate in the States like it used to. You know, Janet Jackson was actually kind of the bigger in the States person than he was, you know, as far as resonating. But that other album, that was a callback because you got You Rock My World on it. You got Butterflies. I mean, everybody that was like that kind of moved away from Michael came flying back after that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that you know, he was working with, you know, big time Dark Child. You know, he saw as a Dark Child like in the beginning of the You Rock My World. That's the video where he's got Chris Tucker. I mean, everything about it is, you know, it's just.
Only problem is, bro, that was like 2001, so that's a little.
It's right outside of our thing, but you know, we're just giving fact that this brother, he did it. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
and he
you know,
he saved those big lyrics and he put it on that album and on that
that's what's
song.
up. So and you know, yes, that's right. So now we come back to this Life After Death album. So you know,
so let's start off with the intro. Like I say, the intros are pretty much you can just go ahead and skip over them. Somebody's gotta die. If I go, you gotta go. Somebody got to die.
So this is produced by what's this? Myrick, Carlos, July 6, Brody.
Got something to do
yeah.
with it. It's a good story. It's like a story song. It's laid back and everything. Then you got Hypnotized, which is one of his biggest songs ever, which is not his biggest song.
I mean, it's a decent radio song, video song. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, I just never, it was like, to me, this was like, it's better than Juicy, but not necessarily a whole lot better than Juicy. But I do think it's a better song. And like you said, this is a song that blew up. But look, let me stop with the bullshit. This is all just a preface to the song that I really, really love. So I don't give a damn about these first three songs. So this fourth song, kicking the
hold
door.
on. Why you gonna just? I had something to say about that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a good song. It's all right. It's all right song. But what makes it worse is you got Puffy on there again. Okay, I just want to say that. Go ahead.
So, Kick in the Door. Okay, this is a song that DJ Premier did with the screaming. What's that dude's name?
Screaming, Jay Hawkins.
Screaming Jay Hawkins. Now, first of all, that song is amazing in itself. But I remember Brick Walls going, oh, I just can't figure out how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Just it's dope, but I can't figure out how to use it. So he was thinking about it. But Primo figured it out. And he sent that over to Puff, and Puff was like, nah, I don't really like that. And this is a prime example where I sit there and go, yeah, he wasn't really no hip hopper. Because there's no effing way that someone sends me over to track the Kick in the Door and I don't freaking like just damn near having an aneurysm. You know what I'm saying? This song is a banger on his face. And then Biggie just killed it. Like, you know, what's crazy about this is that Biggie records this song. This is a Primo. He's in the studio with Primo. And right before he goes, guess what? This song, I'm about to diss your homies. This song is a diss song to your peoples, but we about to lay it down. Boom, lays it down. Just freaking airs out freaking J. Rue the Damager, you know what I'm saying? And just like, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, he even says like your man's in him. He's like literally talking to Primo, dissing your guy, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, it's just, and this song is a banger. This is my absolute favorite song by Biggie. And I remember when I went to see Rakim perform at the House of Blues, and I remember I was sitting there basically. I don't know Ice-T, so I'm not trying to say he's my homeboy and all, even though I have connections with him because he had some issues with my brother, you know. But you know, he was basically posted up right next to where I was posted up, so we enjoyed that concert together. But I'm just telling you, when Biggie came on, everybody was just the lyrics. Everybody was reciting the song. I mean, this song, "Kick in the Door," is that song, my favorite song. And even though he's extremely disrespectful, you know, using a verse that I have a problem with. I wasn't okay with him talking about, you know, beating the female and stuff like that, whatever. But, you know, he flipped this song so strong that it just is like, yeah, I'm gonna just overlook that. So that's what happened, you know. Okay. It's not right, but it's a guilty pleasure.
Hey, she did defend herself. All I heard was "Papa don't hit me no more." I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yo, she came back with her verse, you know, stuff like that. You know, yeah, exactly. So, you know, she did her part, but still, yeah, you know.
All right. Next song was "Effing You Tonight" with R. Kelly, nasty ass, and then next one after that was called "Last Day," featuring the Locks. And, you know, the Locks always put on the performance. "I Love the Dough" with your boy Jay and Angela Winbush singing the hook, which was pretty dope. I like this song too. Moby on the track once again. And then "What's Beef?" That was a hell of a track. It's another song you gotta listen to, telling you like little stories and stuff. You know, got to get into it.
And he used that run. You know, DMC gets credit on this song. Pray for my downfall and stuff like that. They actually list him like a feature rapper and stuff. You know. Is that the song I'm thinking about? Is the pray for my downfall?
I think that is "What's Beef."
Yeah, exactly. So so that's DMC saying that, you know, where he's had sort of like this chant, whatever. And you know, I don't know if he like reset it on there or whatever, but I'm just saying he gets feature credits for this. But yeah, no, this song is a classic. It is a banger, and it's kind of sad because it's really telling you like this is what real beef is about. And then he died behind real beef that, you know, really he shouldn't have died. He shouldn't even been drawn into that beef.
Yep. But interlude. Is this the one with the? Let me just make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, that's the one using the. Okay.
Schoolie D.
Yes, sir.
That's classic.
Right there. That's classic, y'all. Right there, it's just crazy. And then you got "More Money, More Problems." And you know that was just Diana Ross. I'm coming out. That was another one. It's like, what are they doing? Like,
Hey, Puffy, that was Puffy's thing. You know what I'm saying? He took songs from the 80s, and just and literally didn't sound like he did much anything to them. He just basically looped them and just like basic drum addition. You know what I'm saying? Just
and you know what was wrong with the song, right? Once again, same old story. Puffy.
If you don't want no rappers all in the videos, all over your choruses, all over your songs, I mean, that was a great moment. I mean, it was a bad moment because of what played out from it, but it was like a bar. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe he layered himself a little bit too much, on this stuff. But hey,
Yeah, Puffy. Anyway. And then you got Niggas Bleed Just Like Us. Well, Niggas Bleed, that's the name of it, but that's what he said. Then I got a story to tell where he talking about he robbed a basketball player.
And a lot of people saying that this was
your boy rest in peace. Forgot his name.
but still, yeah, I don't want to put it out there, but yeah, but I mean, they're saying that this is basically like a real story and all this other stuff, because like even the dude was just like, yeah, this really did kind of like whatever. So, but I mean, this was an example of Biggie being a master storyteller as well. He wasn't just a dope rapper, you know what I'm saying, but he was a very very good storyteller, like Slick Rick, you know what I'm saying, so he just shout out to that brother. He did this.
And this was 2 albums, a double album, double CD, whatever. So CD number 2, we had number 1, Notorious Thugs with Bone. Excellent, excellent song. Love it.
I hated it.
Loved it. I think it was nice.
I just hated it. I felt like they took him down. They dragged. I just, it's Bone and Biggie, baby. It's Bone and Biggie. I don't know. I just, hey, if people like it, I love it, but I hate it. So,
He showed his versatility. When they got on with Pac, it was just like a straightforward, like real slow song. They was doing their thing, but Pac was just rapping like regular. This dude got on there and he just finessed it. That's all I can say. Then Miss You.
He met their energy. He met their energy.
He did. So and he stayed on point and stayed way on point. I loved it. Miss You. Yeah. You remember that song?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not a really big fan of this double album. I'm a fan of stuff on it. I can trust me. There's like a dope album on here, but then there's like a weak album on here. You know what I'm saying? If you pick and choose the songs that I really connect to. So Miss You. I don't really remember it. I see the writer says Lionel Richie, so they obviously quoted or just used sample something big. So
I think it's I'm Missing You, Diana Ross. I think it was that song. I think that's what this one was. I forgot. I didn't like this album either, to be honest. Well, the whole thing. It was like
there's stuff on it I loved, but just the totality of it, I just was like, and it's just a hard follow up to that classic 5 micer, that first album. You know what I'm saying? It may not have got my 5 mics. I don't know. It should have if it didn't.
Another with Lil Kim, whatever. Going Back to Cali was cool. You know what I'm saying? I love the way
you know what?
Just clever as hell.
No. Mm-hmm. I like this. This song is a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, his flow on it is whatever. It's like he did something. It's so weird to do a song that's like kind of like a follow-up to somebody else that did a song, Going Back to Cali, and you don't do nothing from that song. Everything about it is just completely different. Literally, the only connection is the fact that he says Going Back to Cali. You know what I'm saying? But this is a dope song, man. I love the energy of it. I love the way he starts off the rapping with it. I mean, this is a song. I remember Greg Nice of Nice and Smooth used to always talk about, like, people talk about my lyrics are not very complicated. He says, but my lyrics are fun and people like to say my lyrics. They have fun saying my part. And that's an accomplishment. And I think that really happens on this Going Back to Cali. This song is so fun from the moment it drops. It's just everything about the flow, just whatever. So I mean, it was terrible and sad and tragic that he died in Cali, But you know what I'm saying. But this song, it's not an okay song for me. This song is one of them ones.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of respect for it. Great pop song, great fun song.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Yeah.
10 Crack Commandments. Primo.
Primo again.
Primo's at it again, man.
Oh my goodness. Primo is the man. That's how we I gotta go listen to this song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10. Everything about it, man, is dope. I mean, even SWV had to go grab this up basically and loop this for one of their remixes. You know what I'm saying? So,
You're the one for me.
Man, yeah, it's just man, whew, 10 Crack, and just man, talk about you. Even your mommy be in the bushes, hooded, headed, whatever. That used to crack up brick walls. And my homeboy Leroy, shout out to those brothers. Talk about your mommy. Your mom's in the bushes with the hoodie.
He was full with it.
Man,
Play hater. He singing, he's just clowning around, trying to be like Easy. Nasty Boy was another song that was just like wasn't really. I don't
Combs.
know.
Combs, producer Combs.
Yeah, probably so, a Stevie J, something like that.
So not to just be shitting on Puffy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I appreciate what he brought. I appreciate his impact on hip hop. I'm not co-signing nothing else. Let's be very clear, but you know what I'm just saying that that I just feel like maybe he inserted himself a little bit too much on things.
He was messing up Big's records. That's why I don't like this damn record, because Puffy on there. Sky's the Limit with 112. Great song, great sample. That was a good song and everything. Y'all gotta go listen to it. I do recommend this one. It was okay. The World is Filled. I love this song because you got Too Short. But the only thing is you got Puff on here that's killing it again. That's the only problem with the song. Besides that, great song.
Okay, so I was wrong. This is the song. My Downfall was the one. So it says featuring DMC. Mm-hmm. That's the one where he's pray for my downfall. Yeah. Like I said, he's getting featuring on this because I almost vaguely recall that they didn't just sample it, that they made it and brought him into the studio or something like that. Even if they didn't, he's got a feature on this track. That's just such a stand-up thing to do to one of the greatest hip-hop legends, you know what I'm saying, in the game. So I mean, I love the song, and I love that they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And then we got Long
RZA. That's my other guy that I love. You know what I'm saying? You talking about Primo. When I think about Primo, I think about RZA. I mean, those are two of my favorite producers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to be able to do anything over a track that has Primo or RZA on it.
Sorry. And then the last one, You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You, and that's fucked up because that's exactly how he died. And you know what? That's why I consider his 2 albums. The other album, the posthumous albums, I don't really consider those, to be honest. That's just my opinion. Even though there's a couple of cuts that might have came off those albums, it is what it is. But rest in peace to the soldier, Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He was a real stand-up dude. He was a real MC. He has some great music. I recommend that you guys go and check him out if you haven't. You know what I'm saying? We're going to miss him. But I'm going to just say this much, too. He didn't have enough material, in my opinion, to be one of the greatest. He is a great MC, but he can't be one of the greatest. When you say one of the greatest, you got to talk about people like LL. He has to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest MC, because he came from the 80s, surpassed the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. He's here.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you right now, that Murdergram song with LL, I mean, I think he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand that Eminem is on a whole nother level with what he does. And I feel like LL is meeting his energy in an LL way. And I think it's dope. I'm not saying I'm a fan of the song. I'm a fan of what they did on the song. I'm a fan of the end result. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a song is, like I was telling you about Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of him as an artist. I'm not necessarily a big fan of his end results because his songs don't particularly, drive me like that. But, I respect what he does. And he's got songs that do resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Kendrick and everything. And one thing I can say about the LL thing, that's how I feel about Big with Bone. Anyway, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Let me get up out of here. Where's my little theme music? Where are you hiding that? There you go. All right, y'all. So we'd like to thank y'all once again for tuning in to the Spin That Night Show. Another Saturday morning with us. We should be back next weekend, 10:30. And check this out. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa and everything that y'all going through. We shall be back.
Hold on a second. Before you do it, I wanted to say, hey, this beat right here, Primo inspired.
Yes, sir. All day, huh? All right, y'all.
Right here.